The Zilithian ship Harbinger of Dawn dropped out of hyperspace with a low hum that vibrated through the metal walls. Commander Vexhai pressed his six-fingered hands against the viewing port and stared at the yellow star ahead. His purple skin darkened with excitement as the ship's sensors began their work. "Report," Vexhai commanded in his deep voice. His science officer Kreldon looked up from her console. Her large black eyes reflected the screen's blue glow. "Third planet shows perfect conditions, Commander. Water, oxygen, moderate temperature. The electromagnetic readings suggest primitive technology at best." Vexhai nodded slowly. Another world for the Zilithian collective to claim. The Empire needed new planets desperately. Their home worlds were becoming crowded, and resources were running low. This system appeared on no star charts. No other species had claimed it. "Any signs of space travel from the inhabitants?" Vexhai asked. "None detected, sir. We see some basic radio signals, but nothing that suggests they can leave their planet's atmosphere. The technology appears to be several hundred years behind spacefaring capability." Dr. Zelenoth, the expedition's chief xenobiologist, moved closer to examine the readings. His scientific equipment hummed as it analyzed data from the planet below. "Fascinating life patterns, Commander. The dominant species appears to be bipedal, averaging about 6 feet in height. They seem to have built simple structures across the continents." "Dangerous?" Vexhai wanted to know. "Highly unlikely. Their brain capacity suggests limited intelligence. They might be suitable for preservation in protected areas once we begin terraforming operations." Far from the Zilithian ship, hidden in the asteroid field at the system's edge, Lieutenant Jake Morrison watched everything through advanced sensors. His stealth ship Nighthawk remained invisible to alien detection systems. Jake had been monitoring deep space for 3 years, part of humanity's early warning network. "This is interesting," Jake muttered to himself. He activated his quantum communicator and sent an encrypted message toward Luna Station. "Admiral Carter, we have visitors. Big ship, alien design, currently scanning Earth. They seem to think we're primitives." The response came quickly. Admiral Lisa Carter's voice carried across space through the secure channel. "Copy that, Morrison. Maintain observation. Do not engage unless they become directly hostile to civilian populations." Jake smiled grimly. The aliens had no idea what they were looking at. Earth's real technology remained hidden beneath layers of deception. The radio signals they detected came from carefully maintained decoy systems. The primitive structures were mostly abandoned cities, left visible on purpose to create exactly this impression. Aboard the Harbinger of Dawn, Commander Vexhai reviewed the terraforming plans. His engineers had identified several continents suitable for conversion to Zilithian atmospheric conditions. The process would be slow, but thorough. Native lifeforms would need to be cataloged before major changes began. "Begin deploying the atmospheric processors," Vexhai ordered. "Start with the largest continent. The primitive inhabitants there appear to be concentrated in small groups. We can easily relocate them to preservation zones." The Zilithian ship moved into Earth's orbit. Massive machines began dropping toward the planet's surface. Each processor was the size of a city block and designed to slowly change the air composition over several months. The aliens had perfected this technique on dozens of worlds. Dr. Alina Rodriguez watched from Orbital Watch 7, a research station hidden inside what appeared to be space debris. Her fingers moved quickly across her console as she recorded everything the aliens did. The station's advanced camouflage made it invisible to Zilithian sensors. "They're dropping terraforming equipment over North America," Alina reported to Earth Defense Command. "Preliminary scans suggest they plan to modify our atmosphere." Captain Ryan Brooks received the message at his command post, deep beneath the Colorado mountains. His team had been preparing for this possibility for decades. All units maintained stealth protocols. Let them make the first move. We need to understand their full intentions before responding. The Zilithian atmospheric processors landed in remote areas, far from major human cities. The aliens had chosen locations that appeared uninhabited on their sensors. They had no way of knowing that humans had deliberately cleared those areas and installed holographic projectors to make them look empty. Commander Vexhai sent his first report back to the Zilithian collective. Harbinger of Dawn to High Command. We have successfully located a pristine world suitable for immediate colonization. Initial terraforming operations have begun. The native species appears to be non-threatening primitive bipeds. Recommend proceeding with full colonization fleet. The response from the collective arrived within hours. Excellent work. Vex High Colony Fleet will depart within one standard cycle. Begin preparation of suitable landing sites for permanent settlements. Jake Morrison continued his silent watch from the asteroid field. His sensors recorded every message the aliens sent. Human cryptographers would analyze their language patterns and communication methods. Earth's response would be calculated and precise. Admiral, they're calling in a colony fleet, Jake reported. Looks like they plan to stay permanently. Understood. Continue monitoring. Help is on the way. Dr. Zelenoth and his team began studying the primitive natives more carefully. They watched human settlements through long-range sensors, making notes about behavior patterns and social structures. The aliens found human activity puzzling, but not threatening. They seemed to gather in large groups during certain periods, Zelenoth reported to Commander Vexhai, possibly ritual behavior related to food distribution or social bonding. What the Zilithians were actually observing were normal human work schedules and social activities. They had no frame of reference for understanding human civilization. Their own society had developed very differently. The atmospheric processors began their work, releasing carefully designed chemicals into Earth's air. The process was intended to be gradual and humane. The Zilithians considered themselves ethical conquerors. They preserved native species whenever possible. However, the processors had been designed for uninhabited worlds. They had not accounted for Earth's complex ecosystem or the presence of an advanced civilization. As the machines began changing the air composition, environmental monitoring stations across the planet detected the alterations immediately. Alina Rodriguez coordinated with scientific teams worldwide. We're seeing atmospheric changes in 12 locations. The modifications appear designed to support a different type of respiratory system. Captain Ryan Brooks authorized the first phase of Earth's response. Deploy countermeasures. Make it look like equipment failure, not sabotage. We want them confused, not angry. Human engineering teams moved silently through the night. They approached each atmospheric processor using stealth technology that made them invisible to Zilithian sensors. Small devices were attached to critical systems programmed to cause gradual malfunctions that would appear to be random failures. Commander Vexhai received the first failure reports with concern. 3 processors have stopped functioning. Engineering teams report mysterious system failures. Possible cause? He asked his chief engineer. Unknown, sir. The failures appear random. Could be environmental factors we didn't anticipate. What Vexhai didn't know was that Earth's most advanced technology remained completely hidden. Humanity had learned to be cautious after detecting signs of other spacefaring species. Their policy was to observe first and reveal themselves only when absolutely necessary. The stage was set for a confrontation between 2 very different civilizations, each operating under completely different assumptions about the other. Dr. Elena Rodriguez floated in zero gravity aboard Orbital Watch 7, studying the alien ship through her most advanced telescopes. The Zilithian vessel had moved closer to Earth and was now releasing smaller craft toward the planet's surface. Each craft carried equipment that Elena's sensors could not fully identify. Captain Brooks, we have a problem, Elena spoke into her communicator. The aliens are landing ground teams in populated areas. They seem to be setting up some kind of containment structures. Captain Ryan Brooks sat in the command center beneath Colorado, surrounded by screens showing activity across the globe. His military training had prepared him for many scenarios, but not quite this one. What kind of containment? Large, transparent barriers, apparently designed to enclose human settlements. They're treating our cities like animal preserves. Commander Vexhai stood on the bridge of his ship, pleased with the progress his teams were making on the planet below. The primitive bipeds were responding exactly as expected. Most fled when the Zilithian craft approached, making it easy to establish proper conservation boundaries. Dr. Zelenoth, report on the Native Preservation Program. Vexhai requested. The xenobiologist consulted his datapad. Excellent progress, Commander. We have successfully contained approximately 50,000 native specimens in secure habitat zones. They appeared distressed initially, but our atmospheric regulators are maintaining proper breathing conditions for them. Any resistance? Minimal. They lack the intelligence to understand what we're doing. Some attempt to damage the containment barriers, but the materials are far beyond their technological capability. What Dr. Zelenoth did not realize was that the humans were not trying to damage the barriers. They were studying them. Every piece of alien technology was being carefully analyzed by teams of human scientists who remained hidden from Zilithian sensors. Marine Colonel Danny Williams crouched in the shadows near one of the alien containment sites. His team of 12 Special Forces soldiers waited for his signal. They wore advanced stealth suits that bent light around them, making them effectively invisible. Remember, we want their equipment intact, Danny whispered through his helmet communicator. Disable, don't destroy, make it look like system failures. His team moved silently toward the Zilithian camp. The aliens had established a temporary research station outside the containment barrier. 3 Zilithians worked at strange-looking computers, while a 4th operated some kind of scanner aimed at the humans inside the barrier. Danny's team attached small devices to the alien equipment. The devices were programmed to interfere with specific electronic frequencies, causing gradual system failures that would be difficult to trace. Within hours, the Zilithian equipment would begin malfunctioning in ways that appeared to be random breakdowns. Inside the containment barrier, the trapped humans were not panicking as the aliens expected. Instead, they were organizing. Dr. Patricia Stone, a physicist who had been shopping in downtown Denver when the aliens arrived, was explaining the situation to her fellow captives. These barriers use some kind of energy field to maintain their structure, she told the crowd gathered around her. If we can understand the frequency, we might be able to disrupt it from the inside. The humans began working together, using their smartphones and other electronic devices to measure the energy patterns of their prison. The aliens watching them interpreted this as primitive ritual behavior. Lieutenant Jake Morrison received new orders from Admiral Carter while maintaining his watch from the asteroid field. Morrison, we need you to get closer to their main ship. We need detailed scans of their technology and communication systems. Jake piloted his stealth craft carefully toward the Harbinger of Dawn. His ship's advanced cloaking systems kept him invisible, but he had to be cautious. One mistake could reveal humanity's true technological capabilities before they were ready. As Jake approached the alien vessel, his sensors began picking up detailed information about Zilithian technology. What he discovered was both encouraging and troubling. The aliens were advanced in some areas, particularly biotechnology and atmospheric processing. However, their sensor technology was surprisingly primitive compared to human standards. Admiral, I think I know why they can't see us, Jake reported. Their sensors work on completely different principles from ours. They're looking for specific energy signatures that our technology doesn't produce. Commander Vexhai was becoming increasingly frustrated with the equipment failures. In less than 2 days, half of his atmospheric processors had stopped working, His engineering teams could find no common cause for the breakdowns. This planet may have some kind of natural interference we didn't detect, his chief engineer reported. The failures seem random, but they're happening too frequently to be coincidental. Could the natives be responsible? Vex-High asked. Dr. Zelenoth laughed, a sound like grinding rocks. Impossible, Commander. These creatures barely understand fire. They have no technology capable of affecting our equipment. What the Zilithians did not see were the human teams moving like ghosts through their camps. Colonel Danny Williams had expanded his operation to include 30 Special Forces soldiers, all equipped with the most advanced stealth technology Earth could produce. Target the communication arrays next, Danny ordered. We want to slow down their ability to coordinate with each other. His team struck simultaneously at 6 different Zilithian installations. The alien communication equipment began failing in ways that appeared to be caused by atmospheric interference. The Zilithians found themselves increasingly unable to maintain contact between their ground teams and their ship, Dr. Alina. Rodriguez made a disturbing discovery while analyzing the alien atmospheric processors. Captain Brooks, you need to see this. The atmospheric changes they're making aren't just about air composition. They're also releasing some kind of biological agent. What kind of agent? I'm not sure yet, but it appears designed to make Earth's plant life more compatible with Silithian biology. They're not just changing our air, they're changing our entire ecosystem. This news changed everything. Captain Brooks authorized the next phase of Earth's response. All units, we are now authorized to use direct action. These aliens pose an immediate threat to planetary biosecurity. The humans had been patient, hoping the aliens would realize their mistake and leave peacefully. But the Zilithians were not exploring or studying. They were colonizing, and their activities threatened all life on Earth. Captain Michelle Harper received orders to bring her ship, Far Horizon, back from its mission in the outer system. Her vessel was one of Earth's most advanced warships, though it looked like a simple cargo hauler to anyone scanning it from outside. Plot a course for Earth, fastest possible speed, Michelle ordered her crew. Looks like our alien visitors need to learn some manners. Commander Vex-High sent another report to the Zilithian collective, though this one was less optimistic than his first. Equipment failures continue to plague the operation. However, we have successfully contained large numbers of native specimens and begun preliminary terraforming. Request additional technical support to address the mechanical problems. The response from the collective was immediate. Technical support fleet will arrive in 5 standard cycles. Continue operations as planned. The natives are not to interfere with colonization procedures. But the natives were already interfering far more than the Zilithians realized. Human scientists had analyzed samples of the alien atmospheric agents and developed countermeasures. Teams of biologists were secretly releasing, neutralizing compounds that would prevent the worst effects of the Zilithian. TERRAFORMING. Jake Morrison detected the approach of additional Zilithian ships while maintaining his surveillance position. Admiral, we have company coming. Looks like a technical support fleet, arriving in about 5 days. Understood? Time to let our guests know they've made a mistake. Captain Ryan Brooks activated Earth's planetary defense network for the first time in its history. Hidden installations around the globe came online, their advanced sensors and communication arrays finally revealing themselves. The time for hiding was over. The Zilithians suddenly found themselves surrounded by technology they had not detected moments before. Energy signatures appeared on their sensors that should have been impossible for primitive natives to produce. Commander, Vex-High stared at his instrument readings in confusion. This cannot be correct. The sensor array shows advanced technology signatures all around us. His science officer Kreldon checked and rechecked her instruments. Confirmed, sir. We are detecting power sources and communication systems that are more advanced than our own. For the first time since arriving at Earth, Commander Vexai began to wonder if they had made a terrible mistake. Captain Michelle Harper stood on the bridge of Far Horizon as her ship dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kepler 442 system. She had been conducting routine surveys of human colonies when the emergency recall order came through. Her crew was eager to return home, but the readings from their sensors made Michelle pause. "Contact, bearing 27 Mark IV, reported Lieutenant Kevin Rodriguez from the navigation station. Zilithian scout ship, same configuration as the ones at Earth." Michelle studied the alien vessel through her view screen. The ship was scanning the human colony on Kepler 44 to be with the same methodical pattern they had used at Earth. But something was different about their behavior. "They're not approaching the colony," Michelle observed. "They're staying in high orbit, just scanning." Her communications officer looked up from his console. "Captain, I'm intercepting their transmissions. They appear to be cataloging the colony structures as archaeological ruins." Michelle felt a chill run down her spine. Archaeological ruins. Yes, ma'am. They're treating the colony like it's been abandoned for centuries. The truth hit Michelle like a physical blow. The Zilithians had been surveying human space for who knows how long, finding human colonies throughout the galaxy. But instead of recognizing them as active settlements, they were classifying them as ancient ruins left by some extinct civilization. "Get me Earth Command immediately," Michelle ordered. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Stone sat in his office at Earth Defense Intelligence, reviewing reports from across human space. As the military's chief intelligence analyst, he had been tracking unusual alien activity for months. The pattern was becoming clear, and it was worse than anyone had imagined. "Sir, Captain Harper is requesting an emergency channel from Kepler 442, his aide reported. "Put her through." Michelle's face appeared on Andrew's screen, her expression grim. "Colonel Stone, we have a massive problem. The Zilithians have been surveying our entire colonial network. They think all our settlements are archaeological sites." Andrew felt his blood run cold. How many colonies have they surveyed? Based on their communication intercepts, at least 47 systems. They're planning to strip mine worlds with millions of human inhabitants, thinking they're uninhabited archaeological sites. "Dear God," Andrew whispered. He immediately activated the emergency communication network. "All stations, this is Colonel Stone with a priority alpha alert. The alien incursion is not limited to Earth. Repeat, this is a galaxy-wide situation." Dr. Nathan Pierce crouched behind a pile of scientific equipment in the Zilithian research camp near what had been Chicago. He had been working undercover among the alien research teams for 3 days, using a holographic disguise that made him appear to be a Zilithian scientist. His mission was to gather intelligence about their plans and capabilities. The conversation he was overhearing made his stomach turn. "The ruins on system designation 7742 show the same architectural patterns as the sites we found on 8851 and 9203, one Zilithian scientist was explaining to another. "This extinct civilization appears to have spread across hundreds of star systems." "Fascinating," replied the second scientist. "The mineral resources on these worlds will be substantial. The mining operations should be highly profitable." Nathan activated his hidden recorder and continued listening. The Zilithians were planning to systematically strip mine dozens of worlds that were home to millions of humans. They genuinely believed they were conducting archaeology on the remains of a long-dead species. Commander Vexai reviewed the survey reports from scout fleets across the galaxy. The pattern was remarkable and disturbing. An unknown species had apparently built a vast interstellar civilization, then vanished completely. The architectural style was consistent across hundreds of light years. "Dr. Zelenoff, have you ever encountered anything like this before?" Vexai asked his chief scientist. "Never, Commander. The scale is unprecedented. This civilization must have been incredibly advanced to spread so far so quickly. But there are no signs of what happened to them. No bodies, no records, nothing. It's as if they simply disappeared one day, leaving only their buildings behind. What? The Zilithians did not understand was that human stealth technology was far more sophisticated than they had imagined. Human colonies used advanced camouflage systems that made their power sources, vehicles, and even large populations invisible to Zilithian sensors. The aliens were seeing only what humans wanted them to see. Admiral Lisa Carter called an emergency meeting of Earth's senior military and civilian leadership. The Situation Room, deep beneath Luna Station, filled with the most powerful people in human space, all connected through secure quantum communication links. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing the largest threat in human history, Admiral Carter began. The Zilithian Collective believes our entire civilization is extinct. They are planning to colonize and strip mine our worlds, treating our living colonies as archaeological sites. President Helen Johnson spoke from her secure bunker on Earth. How many people are at risk? Approximately 2 billion human beings, across 47 confirmed star systems, replied Colonel Stone, and the aliens are calling in a full colonization fleet. Dr. Marcus Turner, Earth's leading expert on galactic civilizations, had been studying the intercepted Zilithian communications. Mr. President, there's something else. The Zilithians aren't acting with malicious intent. They genuinely believe they're conducting legitimate archaeological research. That doesn't make our people any less dead if they proceed with their mining operations, Admiral Carter pointed out. Captain Ryan Brooks stood before a massive holographic display showing Zilithian positions throughout human space. We need to coordinate our response carefully. If we reveal ourselves too aggressively, we could trigger a war we're not prepared for. What do you recommend? Asked the President. Gradual revelation. Show them enough of our technology to make them pause and reconsider, but not so much that they see us as a threat requiring immediate military response. Meanwhile, the Zilithian Technical Support Fleet was approaching Earth. Commander Vexhai prepared to meet them, unaware that human ships were shadowing his vessels every step of the way. Lieutenant Jake Morrison had been joined by 4 other stealth ships, all monitoring the approaching alien fleet. Admiral, the support fleet consists of 12 ships, including what appears to be a mobile command center and several industrial vessels. Copy that, Morrison. Stay back and observe. We don't want to reveal our capabilities yet. Dr. Elena Rodriguez made another disturbing discovery while analyzing the alien fleet's transmissions. Captain Brooks, the technical support fleet is carrying atmospheric processing equipment designed for 40 different star systems. They're planning simultaneous terraforming operations across all of human space. The scope of the Zilithian plan was becoming clear. They intended to transform dozens of human worlds simultaneously, making them suitable for Zilithian colonization. The process would kill every human, animal, and plant on those worlds. Captain Amy Foster commanded the defense station, hidden in Earth's asteroid belt. Her facility coordinated the planet's early warning network and deep space communications. All stations, this is Asteroid Command. We are detecting massive alien fleet movements throughout human space. This appears to be a coordinated invasion, but it was not really an invasion. The Zilithians were conducting what they believed to be a peaceful colonization of uninhabited worlds. They had no idea they were planning genocide on an unprecedented scale. Commander Vexhai received a message from the Collective High Command that filled him with pride. Vexhai, your discovery has been designated as the most significant archaeological find in Zilithian history. You are hereby promoted to Fleet Commander and given authority over the largest colonization effort ever attempted. The newly promoted Fleet Commander Vexhai looked out at the blue and green world below, completely unaware that he was staring at the capital of a civilization that spanned hundreds of star systems. The atmospheric processors continued their work, slowly poisoning Earth's air, while human countermeasures worked equally hard to neutralize the damage. Begin final preparations for the arrival of the colony fleet, Vexai ordered. This will be the foundation of a new age for the Zilithian people. Dr. Nathan Pierce transmitted his final intelligence report before preparing to escape the research camp. Command, the aliens are planning to begin full-scale colonization in 72 hours. They're bringing in mining equipment and population centers. Once they start, millions of humans will die. Colonel Stone reviewed all available intelligence and made his recommendation to Admiral Carter. Ma'am, we can't wait any longer. We need to reveal ourselves before their colony fleet arrives. Admiral Carter nodded grimly. Agreed. Initiate Operation Starlight immediately. Across human space, cloaked ships began powering up their primary systems. Hidden installations prepared to drop their camouflage. The greatest revelation in galactic history was about to begin. Fleet Commander Vexai was about to learn that the extinct civilization he had discovered was very much alive, and they were not happy about his colonization plans. Admiral Patricia Stone stood on the bridge of the flagship Destiny as Operation Starlight began across the galaxy. She was Andrew Stone's sister and one of Earth's most experienced fleet commanders. Around her, dozens of officers worked at their stations, coordinating the most complex military operation in human history. All ships report ready, Admiral, her communications officer announced. Patricia looked at the holographic display, showing human fleet positions throughout known space, 47 star systems, each with hidden human ships surrounding Zilithian vessels. Execute Operation Starlight. All ships do cloak simultaneously. Across the galaxy, the impossible happened. Ships appeared out of nowhere, around every vessel, materializing from empty space like ghosts, becoming solid. The aliens had been completely surrounded without knowing it. Fleet Commander Vexai was reviewing colonization reports when his bridge erupted in alarm signals. Commander, we have multiple contacts appearing all around us, his sensor officer reported with panic in her voice. Ships are decloaking in our immediate vicinity. Impossible, Vexai replied. But even as he spoke, the main view screen showed him the truth. Sleek human vessels hung in space around his ship, having appeared from nowhere. Lieutenant Jake Morrison sat in his command chair aboard the Nighthawk as his stealth ship became visible for the first time. While that got their attention, he said to his crew, "Open a channel to the alien flagship." Captain Kevin Rodriguez commanded the exploration vessel, Star Wanderer, positioned just off the port side of a Zilithian research ship. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Corps, Zilithian vessels. You are surrounded. Prepare to receive communications." The message went out simultaneously in dozens of star systems, spoken in perfect Zilithian by human officers who had spent months learning the alien language. The coordination was flawless, and the impact was overwhelming. On board the Harbinger of Dawn, Dr. Zelenoth stared at his sensor readings with complete confusion. "Commander, these ships use technology that should not exist. Their stealth capabilities are centuries beyond what the primitive natives could possibly have developed." Fleet Commander Vexai felt the foundations of his understanding crumble. "Are you saying the primitive bipeds created these vessels?" "I don't know what I'm saying anymore, sir." Dr. Sarah Mitchell appeared on the main view screen of the Zilithian flagship, her image being broadcast to every alien ship in the fleet. She wore the formal diplomatic robes of Earth's foreign ministry and spoke in flawless Zilithian. "Fleet Commander Vexai, I am Dr. Sarah Mitchell, Chief Diplomatic Representative of the United Earth Alliance. We need to talk." Vexai stared at the screen in shock. The creature speaking to him was clearly one of the primitive bipeds his scientists had dismissed as barely intelligent. Yet she was speaking his language perfectly and commanding technology that surpassed his own. "This is impossible," he whispered. "Commander," Sarah continued, "what you have discovered is not an extinct archaeological civilization. These are active human colonies, home to billions of living people. Earth is not an uninhabited world suitable for colonization. It is the capital of an interstellar civilization that has existed for over 3 centuries. The bridge of the Harbinger of Dawn fell completely silent. Every Zilithian officer stared at the viewscreen as their understanding of reality collapsed around them. Dr. Elena Rodriguez transmitted a data package to the Zilithian ship, containing detailed information about human civilization. Fleet Commander, we are sending you historical records, population data, and technological specifications that prove our claims. We have been spacefaring longer than your species has known about our existence. Captain Ryan Brooks coordinated Earth's revelation. From his command center beneath Colorado, all stations maintain defensive positions, but do not take aggressive action unless fired upon. We want them to understand, not fight. The data package Elena sent contained thousands of hours of human history, showing the development of Earth's civilization from its early space age through the establishment of colonies across the galaxy. The information was overwhelming and undeniable. Fleet Commander Vexhai watched the historical records with growing horror. The ruins his people had catalogued on dozens of worlds were shown to be thriving cities full of living humans. The archaeological sites were shopping centers, schools, and homes where families lived and worked. Dr. Zelenoth Vexhai called weakly. How many inhabited worlds did we classify as ruins? The xenobiologist consulted his records with trembling hands. 47 confirmed systems, Commander. Conservative population estimates suggest approximately 2 billion sentient beings. The full scope of their mistake hit the Zilithian crew like a physical blow. They had been planning to strip mine worlds containing billions of people. Believing they were conducting archaeological research, Captain Amy Foster sent a message from her position near the Zilithian Technical Support Fleet. Fleet Commander, we have been monitoring your communications for months. We know about your plans for atmospheric processing and resource extraction. These operations would kill every human on the targeted worlds. We didn't know, Vexhai transmitted back, his voice barely a whisper. We had no idea you existed. Dr. Nathan Pierce removed his holographic disguise and revealed himself to the Zilithian research team he had been working with. The alien scientists stared at him in complete shock as they realized one of the primitive natives had been among them for days. Gathering intelligence, your atmospheric processors are slowly poisoning Earth's air, Nathan explained to the stunned researchers. Your containment barriers are holding millions of humans prisoner in their own cities. You are committing genocide without realizing it. Admiral Lisa Carter opened a direct communication channel to the Zilithian Collective's home worlds. This is Admiral Carter of Earth Defense Command. We demand immediate cessation of all terraforming operations and the release of all human captives. The response from the Collective High Command was swift and panicked. Human vessels, we were unaware of your civilization's existence. Our sensors detected no signs of advanced technology. Captain Michelle Harper explained from her position near Kepler 442. Our stealth technology is designed to hide our presence from hostile civilizations. We have been observing the galaxy for centuries, remaining hidden until we could be certain of peaceful contact. The revelation continued as human ships throughout the galaxy dropped their camouflage simultaneously. Space stations appeared in asteroid fields. Mining operations became visible on moons that had appeared uninhabited. The true scope of human civilization revealed itself all at once. Dr. Marcus Turner transmitted from Earth's primary research facility. Fleet Commander Vexhai. We are not the only species using advanced stealth technology. Our sensors indicate at least 12 other civilizations in this galaxy that have been hiding from each other, all waiting and watching. This final revelation shattered what remained of Zilithian assumptions about the galaxy. Not only had they stumbled into conflict with an advanced human civilization, but the entire galaxy was apparently full of hidden species, all watching each other in secret. Fleet Commander Vexhai made the most difficult decision of his career. All Zilithian ships, cease terraforming operations immediately. Release all captive specimens. Prepare for full diplomatic contact with human authorities. The message went out across human space, as every Zilithian vessel received the stand-down order. Atmospheric processors shut down, containment barriers deactivated, and research operations stopped. President Helen Johnson addressed both species from her office in the White House. Her words transmitted throughout human and Zilithian space. Fleet Commander Vexai, we are willing to engage in peaceful diplomatic relations. However, all terraforming operations must stop immediately, and reparations must be made for the damage already caused. Agreed, President Johnson, Vexai replied. The Zilithian Collective will comply with all reasonable demands. We wish only to make amends for our terrible mistake. Captain Kevin Rodriguez piloted his ship closer to the alien flagship, Fleet. Commander, we are prepared to begin formal diplomatic negotiations. Our species have much to offer each other, if we can move past this misunderstanding. Dr. Sarah Mitchell prepared her diplomatic team for the most important first contact negotiations in human history. The galaxy had just become a much more complex and interesting place, and humanity was no longer alone in hiding among the stars. The great revelation was complete. But this was only the beginning of a new chapter in galactic civilization. Dr. Marcus Turner stood in the newly constructed diplomatic station orbiting Earth, looking out at the mixed fleet of human and Zilithian ships working together. 3 months had passed since the Great Revelation, and the galaxy had changed forever. Fleet Commander Vexai, the sensor readings are remarkable, Marcus explained to his alien colleague. Using our combined detection systems, we can see civilizations that neither of our species could detect alone. Vexai studied the displays with fascination and growing concern. The advanced human sensors revealed energy signatures throughout the galaxy that